This is Battle Fatigue. Now here's your host of Battle Fatigue, AJ and Dalin. Thank you, Johnny. Who's that from? Do you know this from? Who's that from?
Johnny Cochran? No.
Johnny Cochran.
No.
What game show host is thanking Johnny Cochran?
Wait. I know this.
Listen, this is Battle Fatigue.
American Grandstand.
Jeopardy. What?
Oh, snap. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, Johnny.
My bad.
Wow.
How's your weekend?
Ooh, what'd I do? Ooh, one of my mom's besties from high school
Oh, shit.
came from Kenya to visit,
Shout out to the bestie.
and that was super fun.
Wow.
And then I was looking through a bunch of my photo albums, and I saw pictures of me and her when I was super little. And there's like pictures of me and her kids. Like we all kind of grew up together. She has 3 kids, my auntie Batha. And that was really dope. It was dope seeing somebody who knew my mom when she was super young, and also the similarities in their behavior. I was like, oh, y'all both crazy.
Yeah.
Like y'all wild. I was raised by a very type A person, and then seeing her friend was also type A, and she was like, I don't understand why my kids and I have this relationship. And I was like, I can tell you, there's a list. I can prove to you right now why y'all have the relationship that you have. So that was fun. It was fun being able to hang out with them and kick it and, be immersed in old school Kenyan Black lady love.
Absolutely.
How was yours?
It was good. Got out and enjoyed this very brief moment of near cloudless sun.
True.
The rain will be back about midweek.
If not tomorrow.
Like it is like the way that I'm wondering if, because this delay where we're still getting cool temperatures, it'll be in the 60s this week, and we got more rain, and it's we're mid-May. Actually, no, we're late May now.
It's late May.
And summer's coming. So
Is it?
I wonder if it's just gonna right. I wonder if it's just gonna be like this scenario where like around end of July, it'll be like in the 80s. Like if it's just all getting pushed out. And I don't know who determines when the seasons are. Is there a committee?
I'm pretty sure it was a white man.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not the Mayans.
I mean, that we actually listened to, it was a white man. That we should have listened to, it was the Mayans. I'm pretty sure there was an African country somewhere in there back in the day, in like the ADs that were like, let me tell you about this calendar thing.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, nah, they're Negro. We're not going to listen to them. Especially when I found out that like time in Ethiopia is completely different. They're like 7 years behind.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, there's a video going around of this dude. Of course, he's a white man. And he's in Ethiopia, and he's looking at his iPhone, and his iPhone says, like, 2022. And he's talking to this Ethiopian man, and the dude's iPhone says, like, 2013 or something. And the guy's like, I don't understand. He's like, yeah, no, we don't function with y'all's punk-ass calendar. We have our own shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Which explains a lot of things, because I was like, oh, so the 2012 that we were supposed to die, all of us, and that the Mayans were talking about, oh no, that was actually 2020. And that's why, I mean, when we get into the conspiracy theory, it gets wild. But like,
that's wild.
COVID all happened around the 2012 prediction that the Mayan calendar had. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh, nah, it was just Old Testament clearing of all the newborns with the lamb's blood.
This is like that, or was it like a $20 bill or a $1 bill? Like you fold it the right way, and it was like you can see a building burning or something.
Yeah, or there was another one where it was like you could see the Illuminati code that you need to get in, and I was like, I tried. They wouldn't let me in.
I tried the code. But
First of all, Steve has told me in no uncertain terms that I am not allowed to join a cult. Okay, she has told me very specifically I'm not allowed. I'm just like, but I'm just curious. I'm not trying to like join for real. I just want to ask questions.
Here's the real question. Is perhaps Steve the cult?
Oh my gosh. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward was in a cult, a cephalopod cult, and SpongeBob and Patrick were trying to get in, and he just like would never talk about it, but come to find out he was in the... Steven, We're gonna talk about this later. You know what? I appreciate you opening my eyes, brother.
saying.
I appreciate Black King. I appreciate
Third
you
eye.
opening my
Third
third eye.
Get you some clear self.
You ain't gonna catch me slipping ever again. Me and all 4 of my eyes, well, 5 now are open.
Speaking of like black people trying to say the thing and then folks not listening.
Oh, joy.
Great conversation. 10 out of 10. I mean, I'm sure that you have a few stories when working with colleagues, peers, coworkers, mostly non-black, mainly white, where, like in an office space, where you trying to say a thing, and it just doesn't really seem to. Okay. It's not.
Just having it in slow-mo, too. I
Yeah.
was like, nah, it's falling.
But yeah, you've worked in an office space where you have a voice, you have an opinion, you have thoughts, you've got ideas, and you be in a group, or maybe you just be with the person that is in perhaps management over you or whatever the case. And it just seems a brick wall, just deaf ears, just like, what is going on? Or even better, like you say the thing, and then they're like, and then like 2 weeks later,
The thing happens.
and people are like, oh, that was really a great idea. And it was like, I was in that shit two weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
How many kind of different office spaces have you worked in?
Many.
Have you been in the office throughout your whole kind of working career?
Yeah, I would say like my first official jobs were at like community centers and stuff. I didn't work retail, which has its like benefits and minuses depending on who you talk to. And then after that, I worked at a gym for a while, which was such a curious experience because it wasn't like I worked at like Planet Fitness. It was like I worked at some bougie gym downtown in which all of the like Nordstrom execs would go to, that kind of thing. So it was like a completely different experience. And then I worked for conference and events at my college, which was definitely probably my first traditional office job where I like sat at a computer with a cubicle. And that was bullshit because I was one of the only black people there that. And also, in general, Seattle University does not do a good job of recruiting black kids who are not athletes.
Yeah.
Like, at all. And I remember tweeting at it, and then Seattle U tweeted me back and was like, we'd love to talk to you about this problem. It's like, what are you talking
Oh, I think I
remember that? Yeah, and then I was like, you guys, Garfield is blocks away from y'all, and y'all don't recruit at Garfield. Like, why are you guys asking me as though I made some crazy revelation and this is like what y'all do?
Right.
Then I worked for a kidney dialysis center, which came with its own host of issues. Then I worked probably my most corporate job, which was working for a consulting firm that worked with the city on construction projects. And in between there somewhere, I worked at a weed shop.
Somewhere in there, yeah. Hence one of your emails.
Hell yeah, yes.
Oh, problematic email.
At least, yeah. Anyway.
Oh, natural blessings.
Yeah, but for real, it's just like, why did I use my personal email to help y'all set up your shit? But you live and you learn.
My first what was my first job? My first job was like as a bagger at the commissary. You had to like you go. It was off of tips. You go in there and you had to pay the bagger's fee, and that was it. It was $3, and it went to this like old dude named Joe, and Joe always looked like Today by Me the Day. Every time it was like Joe is impressive. It's impressive at this point. I've been here 3 months now, and it's impressive that the day ain't come yet. Like that, like Joe just always because he hair was just kind of gone, just very pale. A lot of spots. He was just an older white gentleman that just looked like life said, "We've tried everything, just nothing has seemed to falter Joe." But yeah, he was a cool dude. But yeah, you give him the bagger's fee, about $3, and if you didn't, he would come find you because he had a little list. And he marked you off, and I was like, Joe, you'll get your $3. Joe, you'll get your $3. But yeah, I had that, and it was mainly black folks and like Asian women, who most of which were like wives of military husbands, there with their like giant hats and their cliques where they would see cut, like sometimes they would like kind of fish out customers and see who's coming and who's there. And sometimes they would come find them, and the customers come find them and stuff. And then they would work this system where they one would bag on one end, the other would bag on the other end, and then typically once one left, the other one would switch over as the primary and then the backup. So that's kind of how that goes, kind of a line thing. And they had a system, and we were hip, but we were also young, because it was like young black kids with like a few folks in the middle, and then like the older Asian women, and that was like those were the baggers, and it was some were cool, some were not as cool, but yeah, that was like I've never been in a particular dynamic like that since. I was like 16, 17, I think 16, I think.
Oh, young Sultan.
Yeah.
Teenage Sultan.
Just figuring out life.
Ugh, I'm still figuring it out, yo.
Just put the.
I think the
eggs
closest
and the
that
bread
I've
in
been
one bag.
to that kind of system and the cliques is when I was working at the kidney center. There was the Filipino mafia. Like, that's what we called them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like real quick, let me explain why I'm using the term Filipino mafia. So it's not like Filipino folks were bad or anything like that. It's just there was a certain way in which these groups of people would use intimidation to get what they wanted. Like at the kidney center, you have all your family members there. You have a lot of familial folks. And so it kind of functions as far as like the intimidation factor
Right.
in a similar structure as like what you would consider a mafia family.
Yeah.
And so they ended up getting this nickname throughout the entire kidney center.
From everybody else.
As like the Filipino mafia.
Did
And
they
so-
know?
Yeah.
Oh, they knew.
And they were comfortable with it because they knew that
They
they
were
had
comfortable.
Yeah, because it's like you knew that you had a way to protect your people.
Yeah.
Like if your cousin or your sister or your mom even was having issues with somebody at a different center,
Yeah.
then you had people that you could like,
Got you.
call in. And
Had to
that
connect.
is basically how like the mafia low key, like the mafia that we associate with in like, mainstream media, like that's kind of how they function.
Sure.
So it wasn't meant to be a derogatory term for them. It was a term used to explain how much power and influence they had within that space. So if you hear me saying that, like that's what I'm talking about. So low key, I say it out of respect. Dead ass, like kiss the ring type shit. Like it's definitely out of
This
respect.
mafia that happened to be Filipino.
The thing about that job is once I started running, I was the medical receptionist. And so I was in charge of supplies. I was in charge of getting the labs ready. I was in charge of a lot of things that I did efficiently. And also I was going up against the Filipino mafia. And so they would want like certain gloves, ordered or certain things. And they would they would try and intimidate you. And I didn't really understand the Filipino mafia when I first got there. And I was just like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do, because my boss was like, girl, you cannot go over the budget. And I had to order stuff every week. And I mean, this lady came up to me one day, I was 44 cents over the budget. And she was like, I need you to handle this. I was like, cool. So them gloves cost extra money, which means I need to like negotiate what I'm ordering to make sure you can have your little gloves.
Right.
For the most part, I was like, I'm fine with it. Then they started being mean. And then I was like, oh, okay. Now y'all, because one of them will decide that they don't like my attitude or something. Then it's like, oh, the whole mafia is against you. It's like, girl, do you not understand? I order y'all shit. Like, do you understand? I order y'all. So then I just started stopping. You don't get special gloves.
Now you don't get it.
Now you don't get special gloves. And then they'd go up to me and be like, oh, we're missing the such and such gloves. Oh yeah, nah, I didn't order them. Why? I didn't want to. But so-and-so uses them, and so-and-so can use the same gloves as everybody else.
Yeah.
Then it became a war. Then it was like, bet. Now it's me versus the Filipino mafia. And then it got to the point where I was like, I don't understand why you guys are so against everybody else when we're all supposed to be against the man. Like at the end of the day.
Man, right?
Like we are all being shat on, and you guys decide to like extra shit on me. Cool. I'm about to be a menace.
And for what reason?
For what reason? I'm about to be, and it was always the black women. Right?
Wow.
It was always the black women that got shat on. The nurses that were on the floor, the other technicians who would do really good work, but black folks, we do things in our kind of our own flair, still within the bounds of the rules, but we do things with our own flair. If the head nurse happened to be a Filipino woman who was part of the mafia, now let me just say, not everybody was part of the mafia.
Yeah.
But if you were part of the mafia and somebody did something that you didn't like, then they would like ostracize that black woman. They would give her the shitty shifts. They would give her all the hardest patients. They would even give them the racist patients that know that you should not send like the black person over there.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, how do you fight back in that environment? Cool. I'm not going to order your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to purposely forget to tell y'all when there was a potluck or like when the boss was coming, because I always knew, because they would call and be like, hey, I'm coming on such and such date. Bet. What I would do is I go tell all the black people, hey, Nina, Jerry's coming on Tuesday. Therese, Jerry coming on Tuesday. And it's like, bet. And so we're all ready. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, did you see Jerry's coming? Oh, no, did I not tell y'all Jerry was coming?
Oops.
My bad. Because it's like, stop shitting on black women. At the end of the day, stop shitting on black women.
Hey, stop shitting on black women.
Like
it just...
Office jobs have been some of the most ridiculous spaces to try and navigate, code switch, figure out who is your enemy, who isn't your enemy. It's like you got to play this mental chess of like, who am I going to have on my quote unquote team? Even in my last corporate, like my last official corporate job, I had to figure out like which managers could I go talk to if I was having an issue, that they're not automatically going to snitch on me to HR because they don't understand what I'm saying. Right. I had a really great manager and then another like project manager who I knew I could go talk to if I was having issues, but also these are still white women. And so it's like, at the end of the day, I still got to navigate, okay, you are still a white woman and I still don't know if you are actually going to have my back, but this thing is bad enough that I need to navigate it in a certain way. So that's when black women always got receipts. Black women always save emails. Black women always make sure we talk to certain people so that if some shit goes down, well, I told Sandra and I told Kathy 3 weeks ago that some shit was going to happen. Like, that is so exhausting. Office work is so goddamn exhausting. Organizing, it is exhausting being a black woman, not because I don't love being a black woman, but because I got to deal with y'all dealing with me being a black woman.
Which, I mean, foolishness. I was like, my what I was gonna say was like, and what even is the reason to like, you have first off, you hired me
seriously to do a job.
We talked about this.
It's
called an interview.
3 times we talked about
I talked to Janice on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Bob in a Zoom. And then I talked to Gary in the office, like, who then brought Ted. Like, I didn't even know who the fuck is Ted. So now I'm talking to all of y'all. All of you have decided, somebody decided, okay, we'll bring him on.
Yep.
Now, whatever the reason being, here's my favorite part. Is you're having this conversation and maybe you're asking them like, oh, so, why is the position open? Like, what's going on? And, well, we're just looking to expand, and whatever reason it is, like, interviews are just, it's dress up. And then you get into the job, you meet the people, like all the people that, you don't know that are part of the interview, and, they get to talk about, we've got a great team, we've got some folks that, are just good at this, some other folks that are good at that, and blah, blah, blah. So you get on and then you start meeting people, you get in that dynamic. As a black person, first thing I'm noticing is all the not black people.
Yep.
Like that's just, it's kind of like walking into a store and I'm seeing cameras, and or
where
like
the security guard is.
Security guard is, but you get in there and it's like, all right, lack of black folks. I've not worked. I think that the place that I worked that had the most black people probably as a bagger when I was commissary, like when I was like 16. But after that, it'd just be kind of a handful of folks, and and maybe like, because I was in the military for a little bit as well, so that's kind of a diverse thing happening, but I don't like super count it, but there's some stories. But yeah, you get in and there's like, you're working and people, of course, they're like, hey, good morning. How are you? Happy Tuesday. And you get also.
That part. I hated that part.
Stop doing that.
Why are you so peppy at 8 o'clock in the morning?
It's not even the peppiness, to be honest with you. It's really just the fact that some people will be, I mean, some of it's fake. Some folks are just like that. You have some people that just thrive off of being in public spaces around people and whatnot, and it just gives them that energy. And then you have the folks that, it's just a fake thing. It's just not, it's something that they put on. You know what I mean? And so I think that for me, like, it tends to drain. Like, it siphons. Like, when a person, like, the more time that they spend around me with that energy, I just feel like it's just siphoning. Like, they get bigger and I'm just like, I don't want to nap all of a sudden. Like, that was just so much.
But did you just suck out some of my soul?
No, seriously. but yeah, you get in these jobs, you meet these people, and you see, who the dynamic. You're like, I'm like more so than the work. I'm never worried about the work. I'm worried
Nah.
about like because the work will be fine. Like I can do the work.
I can figure it out.
I'll do the work.
And I'll
That's
be
fine.
good at
And
it.
I'm gonna be good. Thank you.
And I'm gonna be better
Thank you.
than you thought
Like,
I was
bruh,
gonna be. Like,
Bruh, it's gonna be
watch
like,
me
hey,
finesse
we
this
just wanted to
shit.
say that like you're
We hadn't
great
thought
job
of
on your
doing it
first
that
2
way.
weeks. First off, the
Yeah.
fact that you're surprised is kind of insulting.
A little
Okay,
bit.
you hired me.
A little bit.
Like, why did you? Like, I don't understand.
Also, don't compare me to Kathy.
Please don't.
Just
Please
because
don't.
Kathy's been here for 4 months and still hasn't figured it out does not mean that me in 2 weeks wasn't going to figure it out and do it better and more efficiently. Mainly because I don't feel like doing all these extra goddamn steps.
Right.
Steps 3 through 7, you could just take that shit out.
Take it out. Take it out. I love when they be like, folks will be like, "Hey, so yeah, it'll probably take you about 3 months to acclimate.
Oh, yeah.
Completely fully." And like while they're talking about it, it's like, "Oh no, I'm already in." Like I'm doing the thing already.
Because look, all you got to do is find the black person that's worked there the longest. Once you get in good with that person, look, let me give you the shortcuts because ain't nobody got time to be doing
Straight
all
up.
shit. Mostly because we take extra long for our lunch breaks because we want to get away from y'all. Dead ass. I remember my last job when I was working with the city. The black dude who worked there before me, who left,
Yeah.
he started working for the city. He became one of our clients, and so I was working on a project with him, which was, of course, in 23rd in the Central District because that's
Right.
where they put all the black people on the
Right.
projects. I'm going out to go deliver flyers with him, and he goes, "Look, you're not asking me for this advice, but in order for you to survive at your job, any opportunity you have to leave the building, leave.
Leave. Take it.
Take it."
Yeah.
He's like, "Get in early, do your work, put your head down. People are going to try and make friends with you. That's fine, whatever. But like any opportunity you have to get out of the space of these people all watching you, get out." And I was like, huh. And so I would get to work 7. People usually show up at 8:30, 9. I get to work 7. I am halfway through my tasks for the day by the time folks show up. So when lunchtime hits, they're all trying to work and finish up so they can go get lunch. I'd like have my work done. I'd go get lunch. I'd have my headphones on. I'd go explore. Made friends with a bunch of the owners of stores, little
Absolutely.
restaurants around
Absolutely.
the place. Get free food. Come back. Everybody's like, "Where have you been?"
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh yeah, nah, just take my headphones and take a little walk. Come back with mad food." And they're like, "Wow, you really spend a lot on lunch every day." Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And then it became I was the party person. Then it was like, oh, because black people naturally know how to build community because that is what we've had to do since the days of
don't
enslavement.
say.
You have to build shit out of nothing.
Right.
And so I started hanging out with one person. Then it was like, oh my gosh, let's all go kick it. Then it's like, cool, let's all go kick it. Then it's like, let's go to the club. If we gonna kick it, we gonna kick it. It became this thing where it was like, okay, now we all understand how to take care of each other. We all
Right.
understand community a little
Right.
better, whatever. Then the conversations about race started. Then we started having, okay, well, Kathy, the thing you just did, that was racist. Oh, no, I'm not racist. My so-and-so is black. Really? Because now people start to get a little comfortable, right?
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
comfort is when people really start to show themselves. That's when you start to understand who got your back and who doesn't. Because when people get comfortable, guards get down.
Right.
So then
Right.
this woman comes up
Right.
to me and she's like, "My husband's a police officer." Out of the blue. I'm in the kitchen trying to make tea. Boiling hot water. And she's like, "Yeah, my husband's a police officer." Great. My mom is a teacher. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here. Now we're in the common area. We're in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So now other people are hearing this conversation. Mind you, my cubicle looks like Black history threw up all over it. So you understand what you're
Sure,
getting
right,
with me.
right.
So you're gonna open this door. Cool. Okay. So what was the point of you? Well, I just don't think that it's fair that we're saying all police officers are bad. And it's like, okay. I said the same thing you want for your
Oh.
husband is the same thing that my mom wants for me. You want your husband to go out, do his job, come home safe, right? And she's like, yeah, my mom wants the same thing for me. She's like, okay. And I was like, except your husband is the reason I'm not safe. He could be a great guy. I'm sure he's a great father. He's probably a great husband. I'm sure he opens doors for little old ladies and shit like that. But as soon as he sees me, he's been trained to come up to me with his gun on his hip, with his hand on his gun, knock on my window. And as soon as I'm trying to make a move, he's trained to take every move that I make as a danger to him. I'm not trained for none of that. I'm trained to stay alive. Now you got all these other people in the kitchen being like, oh shit. And I have to remember that these people are also my bosses. So I
Yeah.
can't talk to you the way I really want to talk to you.
Right.
And that in and of itself is the crux of working in a corporate space. I can't talk to you the way I want to talk to you, but you can talk to me the way you want to talk to me.
Right.
Okay.
And then because you even can sound the same, and that's where like some of that code switching comes in. You get onto you get onto the phone, like the office voice. You know that
Yo, did you ever play that game? You just call somebody on their office phone just to hear their office voice? Because I did.
no.
Oh, I used to do that with Steve all the time. Would randomly pick a random number and use that phone to call her, and she'd be like, "Northwest Kidney Centers, this is Adriana," and I'm like, "Ha," and then just like hang up.
And you had
I
it
do.
as well.
I have my
You
Hello, this is Audrey.
Hold up. Role play time. Here we go.
Oh, damn it, my phone ringing. Who the fuck is calling me? Because that was all it was. Hello, this is Audrey.
Hey, Audrey, how's it going? This is Todd Borgman over at
Todd.
Yeah, how's it going today?
Pretty well. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Had a really great weekend downtown. It was a nice and sunny afternoon. What's shaking over on your side of the world today?
Oh, nothing. Just working on reports. Is there anything I can help you with?
Absolutely. So I was talking to Stacy. Stacy said that the recent shipment that we got didn't have everything. We're going through the reports now. We're checking because sometimes
Right.
there could just be kind of a user error thing. So we're trying to make sure we have
Stacy
everything
over in accounting.
Yes,
yeah, interesting.
yeah.
Because I have an email here acknowledging the receipt of the merchandise. So maybe you should have a conversation with Stacy. I'd be happy to hop on a call.
Do you happen to know who signed that?
Yeah, let me check.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was you. Would you like me to send you over a copy?
Yes.
Oh, great. Great. Yeah,
please,
so
go ahead
sent over.
You said that was me.
With confirmation from
The
Stacy.
name is it?
Yeah.
What
Borgman? Was that? Yeah.
is there? Because I'm the second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It has
there's
this-
two lines. Right
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay. I lied. I'm the third. That's my father.
Because they always used to try. It's like, oh, you calling me as though
Yeah.
I'm the one who made the mistakes. Bitch, no, Tom,
No.
you signed this.
That was you.
That's why
Receipts.
black people keep receipts.
Always receipts. And so I think that
Code switching the whole time in my head. I know this motherfucker did not try. Stacy, I knew she like, I ain't fucking trust Stacy from day
Right.
one. Stacy tried me.
tried it.
But in my head, oh no, I have an email here from Stacy acknowledging the receipt. The
Yeah.
whole time, I'm like, Stacy
Yeah.
is on site. Stacy is on fucking site.
Stacy did that because she wanted to go to lunch.
Exactly. And Stacey also wanted to throw me under the bus.
Exactly.
Because when you are good at what you do, that is the intimidating
absolutely.
factor.
Absolutely.
It's not me walking around being happy that I'm black. It's that me as a black person knows I can do my job better than you could do my job. And you also know that I could do your job.
And I don't gotta
better than
put
you.
on.
And I don't.
I mean, we do put on.
I do.
Yeah.
Not in the
we
work
do.
part. I blazed
Yeah.
through my work. I was like, you motherfuckers don't understand how
It's done.
good I am.
It's done.
To the point that I was surprised. I was like, bitch, I'm good at this. I hate this job, but I'm good at this.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, Stacey?
Yeah. What's been a time where was there ever a moment that you had a conversation with management, that kind of thing, and this is a perhaps a white person, and you later, either somebody had to say it to you or like years later, maybe 2 jobs later or whatever, you're like, oh, well, that shit was racist. Because we don't, especially when we are having conversations in the moment, we're having these one-on-ones, we're having these kind of department meetings and such, and we're speaking our opinions and whatever, and just not really taking, because it's so in the moment, we're not taking some of these things, the guard, having the guard up, it's don't catch everything.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
So has there ever been, a time where just the prejudice or the racism just kind of slipped past you, and then later you were like, oh, and then it's like, damn, I'll say something, it's been 4 months. Like that, or
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's so many of those moments that
Sure.
it's like, I think that's why it feels as though black people are in a perpetual state of rage, because you could be
Yeah.
thinking about some shit that happened 3 years ago or 3
Yeah.
minutes ago, and you're
Yeah.
like, I'm equally as mad about both of these things. I think at this point, I'm taking cues from Beyonce more and literally letting my money speak for itself.
there it is.
And understanding that even within your own community, your success is going to rub somebody the wrong way. And not everybody's going to be hyped for you. And the way that comes out can be in these really harmful, kind of sabotagey kind of ways.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, I have my best friends who've been down for me, and they celebrate my wins like it's their wins.
Yep.
So those are the ones I'm going to focus on.
Yep.
Now, am I moving into a very comfortable, professionally petty stage in my life? 110%.
Yeah.
because you and I have had this conversation, and also with Tina. I'm saying that because Tina's right here, and she was also part of that conversation. It feels rude to not include her. But like this fear that I've had of like functioning at my full potential.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons.
Yeah.
One is that whole like we are more powerful. Whatever Marion What's-Her-Face said, our greatest fear is not that we are something, but it's that we are more powerful than we actually think we are. I don't remember the words, but y'all remember the words.
Yeah.
Right?
Remember the
and
feeling.
also, yeah. And also, I have seen good people earn fame and money and change.
Mm.
And that is an inherent fear of mine.
Yeah.
Right? Of like, we don't really know what we would do if we came up on like millions of dollars. But I remember my goddad Richard saying like, when you get money and power, it shows you who you really are. And so now I'm looking at these people like, damn, I thought you was down for the cause. I thought you was like with me in the trenches, but you got a little money, you got a little power, and all of a sudden it's fuck them kids. Like, and so I think I have to get out of my own way as a Black woman.
Yeah.
I have to not aid in my own sabotage because they're not down for me winning unless it's beneficial to them. Right. But now I'm going to create opportunities that are going to be beneficial for me because I know I'm going to take care of my family. Two, my best friends are assholes. Let me just put it out there. Y'all are assholes because if I was ever to get too big of my britches, y'all will humble me real quick, which is what I need and what I want and what I expect.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want y'all to have me out here talking to people all kinds of crazy and assuming that you can't check me.
Yeah.
Because my best friends, if they care about me, they're going to check my behavior.
Yep.
So with that in mind and like having that be at the forefront, it's like now I want to take more risks. I want to see what it would be like to function at my full capacity with the understanding that people are going to hate on me. And so it's like, okay, cool. Now that I understand that my intelligence, my ability to create seems to be a threat for you, I'm flexing now.
Yeah.
Now I'm really going to create. Now I'm going to do as much as I possibly can for you to be purposely irritated by my success. Because we could have been winning together.
Right.
We could have been winning together.
Right.
Like, this pie is big enough for all of us. But for some reason, you think that Black women deserve less of the pie, but should do more of the work. So now it's like, bet. I'm going to build with Black women and Black women only.
That's really like, so you do the work, you do your part. First off, you do what's expected. You do more than what's expected because
That part.
I got some time. And then it's like this idea that, oh, well, you could just do, like, now it's just always like just work. And it's like, can we pay attention to the person that left for the third time this week because something happened, like her child has bubble gum in his hair, so you have to pick him up from school and then take him home and then not come back for the rest of the day, and so now we're all behind and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, don't get gum stuck in your hair. That's not a good thing to have happen. And, but it's 9 a.m. and you're gone for the rest of the day. Like, that just seems to be something that everybody's cool with, and also they're cool with and they're cool with. But for whatever reason, I feel like that I have to do like a laundry list of things before I even ask if I could take an additional 10 minutes of lunch because of an appointment or whatever the case. And I wish that I had that in me to just be like, hey, so things, see y'all tomorrow. But
I want to function in this world like a white man, like a mediocre ass white man.
So fantastic to be able to do that, and then to come back and they'd be like, oh yeah, how did the thing go? It thinged. It thinged. I might actually have to thing again today. Don't know, but just let us know. Just let us know. And I'm watching this, and I can't even. I even in myself, I'm like, I'm gonna try it one day. Like double dutch,
Double
like
dutch
trying to
the
go
whole
in.
time.
Just and the whole time I'm just getting ready to go in and I'm not.
Yep.
And then I sit down and then I like comprise like this 2-paragraph email
with mad explanations, justifications,
and then also talk about like, well, I've done this and done that, which would put me up for the rest of the day and like portions into tomorrow as well. And so just wanted to make sure that and it's just gonna be 10 minutes, just 10 minutes,
Yep.
Just 10 minutes, boss,
Yeah.
and that's just, it's not, what really makes me mad is how natural that is to do, like very, very natural. And then just to watch that decision, and sometimes it's like, oh yeah, no problem. And then sometimes it's, well,
Oh, I hate that. I hate that.
It's 10
I
minutes.
hate that. I hate that. Well, so you're really just gonna make me justify. You're gonna make me like fight it out, no matter how good my work
For
is.
10 minutes.
Kathy's kid is consistently doing some wild
For 10
shit,
minutes.
but
Kathy's kid be wild.
I can't go take my mom to the doctor's
For 10 minutes.
appointment.
10 minutes.
Like I can't. I got to work a Saturday in order to go take my mom to the doctor's appointment. Yeah, no, y'all can miss me with all that.
Let me tell you one of the funnest times I had at work. The week following the day Kaepernick kneeled.
Wow, the week following the day.
So like
Kaepernick
that
kneeled.
Monday.
Okay.
That Monday, just because I'm in an open floor space. You know, it's cubicle action. Sometimes I'm in the office and the door is open, but I mean, just it's open, and just comments like the idea. You talked about being comfortable. People saying what they're saying with no regard to who all is around, regardless of who they are, because they just don't care, man. And so their opinion is more important than who hears it, and that's how you know that folks don't regard like Blackness more than how they feel about something that Blackness did, just because of how, which had nothing to do. None of these people who's I'm watching football to get not to keep the politics out of my sports, and it's like, fam, politics been in sports since sports been sports. What do you mean?
From day one.
What do you mean? Do you not understand it? Like in Roman times, they used sports to determine people living or dying. It's politics.
Literally.
What do you mean?
Literally. It's
Like,
two sides trying to win.
The people got to do thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yo,
Like,
gladiators. The gladiators
Sports.
were representatives of their people, and their people were still like, nah, boo, you didn't cut him hard enough.
Sports is to politics as politics is to sports. What do you mean? Also, we're talking about people who are people just like us. They are on the national or international stage. Like, they have their opinions and thoughts and feelings in the same way that we do, but for whatever reason, the idea is that, like, hey, in that workspace, you're only good for this thing, but then like afterwards, I mean, they're not football players off the field. I mean they are, but
yeah. And
but
also, it's curious how you respond that way to Kaepernick, but you didn't care if Brady brought his Trump hat into the locker room, or Aaron Rodgers brought his vaccination status into the locker room. Like, y'all pick
Aaron
and choose.
Rodgers, I swear to God.
Just it makes no and the whole time I always just have this scene from Black Panther with Killmonger being like, "Is this your king?" Like every time, like, this is who y'all picked.
Yeah,
This is who y'all picked. You had so many people to choose from, and you picked him as your champion. You picked Donald J. Trump. White women, I'm looking at y'all. The 50-something% of y'all that keep voting for this man, y'all picked this frumpy looking, tidy whities wearing, no loving his children ass man as your king. And you gonna sit up here and look at Black women and call us ugly? You gonna sit up here and look at Black men and call us ugly?
All right.
Nah. Because I think of that Black woman who went to the women's march, and she held up a sign and she was like, "White women voted for Trump."
Yeah.
Don't forget, white women voted for Trump.
It's true.
And so we are in this position. We're dealing with it now with the Roe case of these white women going around being like, Black women are gatekeeping. Black women don't want to talk to us about organizing.
Yeah.
Where were y'all at when we were being assaulted? Where was y'all at for Reese Taylor when your husbands were perpetrating the assault? And all of a sudden now that Roe is touching y'all too, because let's not act as though Roe hasn't been disproportionately affecting Black and brown people from jump. All of a sudden now this shit affects y'all too, and it's, oh my God, Black women help us. No, girl, no. We're going to keep helping our communities. No. Now what? Now I am gatekeeping. Now what? What are you going to do? Because where were y'all when we were dying in the streets?
Yeah.
Where was the outrage for the Buffalo shooting? The same, Amy Schumer, where are you at? Because y'all had way more fucking outrage for Will Smith smacking somebody than 10 people dying for your little 18-year-old that who raised? Y'all motherfucker raised him. So stop looking at the Black community talking about, oh, this thing is so sad. No, y'all are literally raising terrorists and serial killers. Yeah. Are y'all okay? This is coming from your neighborhood, and y'all gonna sit up here and talk to us about us being savages and we're unkempt and we're this and we're that. Our people are dying in the streets, and then now all of a sudden y'all motherfuckers wouldn't care when the shit affects you. No.
Talking about raising terrorists, you
No.
saw the video of the little white kid that came banging on the
Yeah,
black family's
with the
door
fucking
with the
whip.
whip. With the whip. Came banging on the door with the whip, asking for
Asking
this
for a little
family's black
girl.
daughter.
And then when the dad goes to confront him, the dad of the little white boy pulls out a gun. And you gonna sit up here and tell me I'm supposed to give a fuck about y'all's community too? Y'all don't care about us.
No.
So no, you don't get to take from centuries of organizing to what? Now because y'all fucking care? And then you have the nerve to tell us that we're gatekeeping without acknowledging that y'all motherfuckers have not shown up for us? I'm talking about non-black women.
Yeah.
All of y'all.
Yeah.
Because BIPOC solidarity is a farce. So yeah, I'm going to do my little code switch. I'm going to make sure that I'm put in position to take care of my community, but I'm going to fake it until I make it. And best believe I'm going to gatekeep something fierce because y'all motherfuckers do not care. You do not care about black women. You do not care about black women. And black women know that. And yet we still vote in a way to make sure that your communities are taken care of too. This is the most thankless, the most, I don't even know how to explain. And yet we still show up. We still show up. So if you're not a black woman, insulting.
Insulting. Nice. It's fine. It's cool.
If you're not a black woman, insulted. Like I don't got the and Felton. I can't forget my boy Felton.
Shout out to Felton.
Can't forget my boy Felton. But like I'm not. No, you are so far down on my list. You are so fucking far down on my list. Sorry, that was a lot. I meant it all, but that was a lot. Said it with my chest, but no, that was a lot.
That's fine. This is a space for that.
Oh, because it's a safe space.
Yeah, for blacks. And so yeah, get that out. I mean, that conversation, like that is of course a bigger conversation that can be had especially for black women in just about every single space. Like every single one. Like I can take, like as a black male, I can talk about, what some of my experiences are for like, because I used to be like $150 wet. You know what I mean? Like just like small dude. I remember going to the mall one time and I went to buy some jeans and I was looking for some pants. Can't remember what kind, but she asked me, this black woman, she asked me what she's like, yeah, what's your waist size? What are you looking for? And I was like, probably like a 30, 32 or whatever. She was like, 30? Like looked at my waist and I'm like, girl, just get the pants. Get the pants. All right, we're not doing this. But I've since grown and I think that, for me, there has always been, that stigma behind black men and their size and there's like the voice and the way they speak and there's a natural shrinkage that I may do or occur. Like at the gym, for example, I believe that the gym should be a space for everybody to do. I mean, we're all paying to do the thing. So yeah, this is your space, my
We're
space,
literally
our space.
all paying to lift heavy things.
You know what I mean? So because of what this world has shown me, it's not even something that I have to like to remind myself of. It's just a natural thing to like. So you have like this woman here on the bench here. Maybe I move the bench over, or I'll work out on the other side, or or if like look like I won't look in that direction. Like if I'm on a cool down and I'll turn to the opposite side and just kind of look that way, or just so many little things that just naturally happen because of the response to just a black male presence, within like a certain space. I used to talk to this one. Well, this woman used to talk to me. Whenever, like, so you in the area, you get some coffee, whatever, and and
I'm trying to figure out if I like this woman or not.
No, you do not.
Oh, okay,
you
good.
Really fucking don't.
Okay, good. On site woman.
And she would come around, and she was the person that would always have the Let me tell you something. Pet peeve number 6. You see my hair. right?
I do.
Okay. It's long.
Yeah.
It's luxurious.
Shrinkage. It is. Juice and berries.
And juice and berries.
Juice and berries.
All right. If I go away for the weekend, Monday through Friday job, and I come back on Monday, let's say all of this was gone. Like now I got on like a little Typhoon, a little Caesar.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then like a person, now you come to me like, oh, okay, you cut the hair, you know. But this is a lot of white people. The question is, I mean, it's obvious I got a fucking haircut.
Because the hair is not there anymore.
But it's like, did you get a haircut? Where do you think that it is?
Did you do something different with your hair?
Where did
but
I?
Also, like, you saw Chad get a haircut. Like, Chad's hair was long at one point, and
Yeah.
Chad came with a haircut. So why is it that you understand Chad's haircut, but for black people,
I don't understand. I just don't understand where you think all that hair went or
in your
is
pocket.
to where like tomorrow and the thing like
save it for later.
and like black women. I used to, because I had, before I left the last office job that I had, my boss thankfully was a black woman. Not the entire time I was there, but for the remainder of the time that I was there. And she would get her hair done in, you know, different ways and such, you know, depending on whatever the fit. Yeah. And so that ended up being for people who just want to say whatever just because the hair is not a conversation piece, you know, every time that it changes, you know what I mean? And so for her, and it's the same woman asked me if I got a haircut, but for anybody that does that, because, you know, a lot of times, but honestly, where do you think, where's the hair? Like, where do you think, like, do you think it's just underneath these waves?
I think we generally
like,
really underestimate how little white people know about black people like.
Do you not understand the length?
Nah,
like how
bruh,
something's long and then something's gone? Like I don't
Look, I'm going to try and remember where I saw the statistic, but it says that about 3/4 of Americans do not have a close relationship with a person. 3/4 of Americans do not have a close relationship with the person of color. You could be in proximity to them, but proximity don't mean nothing. Because of the work that I do, I've had to literally retrain my brain to understand how very little white people understand about our daily lives.
Yeah.
Like how very, very little. I remember one time saying, making a joke about wearing all black during Black History Month. And this woman legitimately was like, wait, is that a thing? Like, do black people do that? And I was just like, what? To the point that at my old job, I remember saying that Michelle Obama's birthday is a national black holiday. And I couldn't come into work. And the dude was like, yeah, oh yeah, no, totally, yeah, that's fine. And I just took the day off. Like, what you finna do? At that point, I was just like, I'm about to just say everybody's black birthday is national. Like, it's fascinating how little white people know about.
Black people are people too. I don't understand. Like there's
no, not us talking about our humanity.
Like I too enjoy a nice steak,
nice Chianti every once
or
in a
I love a
while.
good salad. I will watch
I too go on hikes.
I have a Netflix queue just like you.
I too.
I just I do not understand how just the idea, like the proximity of the tight proximity of information, the limitation that is in your head, and just the closed-mindedness that sometimes can work in our favor. Because saying some stuff like, you know, the national holiday thing, you're like, oh yeah, of course, I would never ask you to stay here. No, not at all.
Yeah, no, you must go celebrate Michelle Obama.
Tim,
You
get over here.
must.
Did you know that Michelle Obama has a holiday? Like, I mean, we would know because we're not, you know,
Yeah,
of
no,
course.
no. So do
But,
we do
you know,
anything for this holiday?
So,
No, we
yeah.
don't. We don't celebrate it? No, it's not yours.
We do not.
No.
Yeah, it's not a thing. We don't.
We
But-
don't.
But they do.
They do.
They do.
And I don't mean they as in like those people. I'm
No,
saying like
no,
the
no,
blacks.
not at all. But
no,
like
we can't
black
say that.
people, like,
No.
what do we say?
Oh my
It's
god. I'm not racist.
The followers
I'm
of
not
Michelle
racist. I'm
Obama's
not racist.
holiday.
I'm not racist. I
Yeah.
just I love black people.
Yeah.
You guys are
course.
great.
Of course. I just can't tell if they get haircuts sometimes. I don't know. I hate it. Yeah. But yeah, so just to go back, she would change her hair, and it would always be this conversation, and I would see that, and it would just be exhausting, and like for me to see, but even more so, I know that for her, for this black woman, and you know, she, of course, carried the weight of the world, you know, in her always, but and I tried to help, but it just always exists for Black women in every way. And I could talk about things like all the time. Like the dude, stories for days. Like the dude that was talking to my boss before she was my boss, and was like I guess he was taking a trip to Chicago, and he was like the regional manager or whatever. He was like, Chicago, I was like, oh, all right, well, you better take a gun with you. And I was like, and it was just casual conversation, door open, again, cubicles right outside the room. I'm right outside the room. We just, everybody. And so it's for folks to hear that, nobody reacted, but you hear a thing and you look up and you look to see, and there's always certain people, because I'll look to see if anybody else, but then specifically, yo, did you heard that shit? You heard what Dan said on lunch? Yeah, I heard it. And everybody hears it, but like acknowledging and understanding what it actually means that a person says that,
I bet you the white folks who heard it were like, yeah, no, Chicago's dangerous. Yeah, you should totally take
is that, why would he?
Yeah.
Is that because
there's so many shootings in Chicago, and it's like, okay.
Oh.
Let's not talk about the socioeconomic reasons why there's shootings.
Let's please not. Let's please not.
Fall to that white hands.
Like understand that bringing on Black people into a workspace, be it because of the fact that like you've decided that somebody somewhere, or you saw some viral tweet that helped you determine that, we've got to add diversity, or if you're a nonprofit, adding more people because it makes the group picture look good and it gets you more for the budget the next year, or whatever the case, like whatever it is that is the reason that you bring Black people on, understand that you're bringing on person, which is, it's fucked up to say this, but you're bringing on a person who exists in ways that you do as well. Want to do a good job. We're trying to get paid. We're trying to get along with folks. We're trying to advance our lives. We're trying to be happy. We're trying to just try, and to have these mental and emotional limitations in you, to not see us for who we are or could be because of what you've been told, how you've been raised, what you saw on TV, what you read in a magazine, what BuzzFeed told you in a listicle, like all these things.
Shots fired at BuzzFeed.
Like you just, fuck BuzzFeed. But like, it is all. If you don't plan to see me, don't fucking hire me.
Woo.
Like, if you don't plan to treat me like somebody who you felt like would be a great addition to the team, absolutely. During the interview, don't hire me, bro. Like, I'm not here for a diversity hire. I'm not here to like just fill a seat. I'm not here to, unless I decide that, because I just need the money that bad. And, but don't do it. Like, leave Black people alone.
And don't assume that we want to be friends with everybody.
I really fucking don't. Like, let me do my... And that
doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. I actually just want to come to work, do my stuff, and leave. And also, like, I probably don't have nothing in common with y'all because y'all don't know how to treat Black people.
Don't get me wrong. I don't mind having a little bit of Monday morning idle chatter or whatever and just be like, weekend was good. Yeah, weekend was good. Thanks for asking. How was yours? Great. Okay. All right. I'm going to log in and head to it. Can I head to it? But yeah, some people just like to try and get to know you. And
if a Black person is not receptive, that's okay. They're not thinking that you're a dick.
Anybody's not receptive of it, just let them not be, man. That's fine.
Stop being weird.
Just
I'm not a commodity or a token or a trinket to be collected.
No.
Like, I'm just a person. I want to come, do my job, make my money. Same as you. I also would like to have a bunch of zeros after the comma.
Straight
I don't
up.
understand. Like, why I got to be a martyr? No,
Straight up.
I'm trying to move from a West Philly Black to a Bel Air Black.
Look.
Okay? With West Philly tendencies, if that makes sense. That's
Please.
it. I hope this has been an informational episode for you.
Jesus.
I hope you take notes. This is how to work with a black person in corporate America 101.
Was it?
We will give you a 201 lesson at some point in the future. But needless to say, the main note you need to understand is black people are human. Stop playing with us. And also, Gen Z don't play, okay?
Look,
Them Gen Zers are wild.
We were probably the last generation
that
to
you
maybe
could
could a little bit.
Talk to a little crazy,
bit.
but these Gen Zers are the definition of fuck around to find
Don't
out.
do
And they
it.
are fully about to find out.
I don't do it.
I don't either.
I don't even know.
They are allies.
Are those Gen
I
Zers
support
over
them.
there?
I support them. Y'all Gen
time to
Zers,
head out.
keep working.
Yeah,
okay,
do the
keep
thing.
working
Do
the
the thing.
system.
Applause.
Do
Applause.
it.
Clap
Because
for
I'm
'em.
not. Gen Z's worse than the Beehive.
Oh my God.
As Gen Z's
Because
worse
they're made up of like all the hives.
all the hives together. Hive powers
Hive unite
activate.
when these hives combine.
I'm cool.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Well, if there is one. The way this world is going, it might not be there.
Thank you for listening to Battle Fatigue. Our show is produced by the folks over at Larj Media. That's LARJ Media. Special thanks to the team at Good Juju for brand design and Roger Habone for theme song production. You can find other episodes of Battle Fatigue wherever you get your podcasts. Also, for updates and more, be sure to follow us on social media at Battle Fatigue PC. Thanks again for listening.